Hi everyone, welcome to Python Web Stepping. I'm Asad Ali, and in this video I'll tell you how to do Selenium automation in your Jupyter Notebook. So if you have not subscribed this channel yet, please do. This is the best way to support me and my channel. So in this video I'll walk you through how to install Selenium in your computer and how to set up the environment. I'll be using MacBook, so don't worry about it. I'll just describe how you can do the same thing in your Windows computer. Okay, so don't worry about it. So let's start. All right, so before I start, I want to make sure that you have Jupyter Notebook installed on your computer. If you don't have, first I'm going to install Jupyter Notebook. I'll tell you how you can install Jupyter Notebook on your computer. And if you already have installed, just skip this part and go to automation part. So to install Jupyter Notebook, if you are using if you are using Windows computer or if you are using MacBook, either way you can install Jupyter Notebook using Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so first download Anaconda Navigator. Just type download Anaconda for Python. All right, so just click on free download and it will take you to the download page. All right, so here you will have Windows button. I have Apple button. So just click on this. It's going to install Anaconda Navigator. It's going to download the executable file. Just download that and just follow the steps. It's going to install Anaconda Navigator in your computer. The next step is just go to your start search button in Windows and click on search and type Anaconda terminal. Okay, so once you do that, you will see a similar logo like this one. Just click on that and it's going to open. I have a bunch of stuff open already. Anyway, all right, so something like this will open. It is called terminal. So you get yourself familiar with this because we are going to use it very often. Now that we have this, the next step is very simple and very straightforward. If you have successfully installed Anaconda Navigator in your computer, you just need to simply type Jupyter. Let me just try to zoom in. All right. Now see, just type Jupyter and Notebook. Okay, just click on that. Sorry, it's going to launch Jupyter Notebook in your default browser. This is one way to use Jupyter Notebook in your uh, computer. So the next method is using Visual Studio Code. A lot of beginners and developers use Visual Studio Code because they have to run other languages as well. So if you don't want to install an Anaconda Navigator, just open your Visual Studio Code. Let me just show you. Okay, you will have something like this. All right, just click on this file and create a new file. And okay, before you do that, you just let me tell you how to install the Jupyter Notebook extension. To check that, you can just click on new file and you will see Jupyter Notebook option here. If you don't see that, it means that your Jupyter Notebook extension is either not enabled or it's not installed. Okay, so to install that, just click on this button here. This is basically for extensions. Just type Jupyter, press enter. All right, just look for something like this and you will see that it is Jupyter is developed by official Microsoft. This is an official Microsoft extension. So once you click on this, it's going to show you something like this on the right side, and just click on install. I have already installed, so it's saying uninstall. Just click on install. It's going to install Jupyter Notebook extension in your Visual Studio Code. Okay, so the next step is you need to create a Jupyter Notebook. Create a Jupyter Notebook. To do that, just click on new file and you will see this Jupyter Notebook here. Okay, just click on this one and now we have our Jupyter Notebook right here. It's going to see, this is going to detect some kernel. That is, I'm pretty sure you have already installed. If you have installed Anaconda Navigator, I'm sure you have already installed Python in your computer as well. Just go to official page of Python and download Python and install it. It's just few KB file and it's going to take maybe 4 to 5 minutes to install Python in your computer. Okay, anyways, once you are here, now you can install Selenium and any other library in your computer, or you can also practice any other Python code here. So as you can see, we have two options. the Visual Studio Code option for Jupyter Notebook, or we have this Jupyter Notebook with Anaconda Navigator. All right, so if any of these doesn't, I mean, if the one doesn't work, you can use the other one. All right, now let's go back to our Visual Studio. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install Selenium in this Jupyter Notebook. So to install a module or anything, use pip inside a notebook, you just need to type sign exclamation and do pip install Selenium. I think I have pip 3, so let's just do pip 3. And in some cases, it's going to ask which environment do you want to use. So in my case, I have I have 3.10.8. This is basically a global environment that I'm using for all of my code. So let's just select that and try to execute this. See, my Selenium is already installed. Some requirements are already satisfied. So it has installed Selenium in my Jupyter Notebook successfully. All right. Now that I have Selenium installed, I can use Selenium. Let's import Selenium from Selenium. Import WebDriver. So this is something that we are going to use to launch our Chrome driver. Okay, let me just clear cell outputs here and try to run this. As you can see that WebDriver, I have successfully imported the WebDriver from Selenium. All right, let's create a new code cell here, and next thing I'm going to need is a driver. If you are using Windows computer, you will have to download Chrome WebDriver from their official website, and if you are using MacBook, you will have to use your terminal to install your WebDriver. All right. So to install WebDriver, download install WebDriver. Let me show you where you can download that. Just go to just type Selenium WebDriver for Chrome. And the first link that is going to open is basically an official website of Chrome, and where you can install Chrome WebDriver. So as you can see that we have a bunch of options here. So to check which Chrome driver I have, which Chrome version I have, just click on these three buttons here, dots here, and go to info, about. Just go to help and click on about Chrome driver. Once you do that, it's going to check for updates, and it's going to tell you the version of your Google Chrome. So in my case, it's 111.7.0, and in your case, if it's not updated, it's going to update itself, and then it's going to tell you which version you currently have. All right, now that I know which version I have, I'm just going back to my Chrome driver, and I'll just this is basically 114 and I have 117, which means this is basically official build. Anyways, because I'm using MacBook, probably the versions are different. So let's just click on this one, the latest one. All right, so let's if you are using Windows computer, you will see the version match here, and just click on this Chrome driver Win32. Okay, so if you are using MacBook, just you can download this one as well, or if you are using M1, you can download this one. All right, so just click on this one. It's going to, I'll just show you. Once I click that, it's downloading the Chrome driver win32.zip file. Okay, so once it completes, I'm going to add a path. So until it completes, let me show you how to do that. To launch the driver, let's type driver equals to webdriver.chrome. All right, so the next thing is the executable path. As you can see that this is the executable path, and it is supposed to be a string. Okay, which means that I'm going to add a string, and that is supposed to be the path of that executable file that I have in that zip file. Okay, because we have downloaded a zip file, just extract it in any location in your computer, and you will see a Chrome driver.exe file here. All right. Now the next step is to get the path. To do that, I'm just going to show you how. Just pick, sorry, pick this executable file from here and drop it into your terminal, and you will see the whole path of that file. Just copy that file path and go back to your notebook and just paste it here. All right, and once you click on this, it's going to launch your Chrome driver from that location. All right, in my case, because I have MacBook, so it's not going to be able to look at this location, so probably it will not launch. All right, let me just stop it. All right, so let's remove that. I'll just remove that because Chrome driver is already installed in my, by default it's installed. I'll probably show you as well, but let me just try to run that and see if it is working or not. All right, so that is what I was talking about. See, in my case, because it is not compatible, different versions, because of different versions, so you will see that version of Chrome driver only supports Chrome version 140, which means that the current version of my Chrome driver is not latest one. So I need to update that. So if you are using MacBook, now I will tell you how to install and update your Chrome driver in your MacBook as well. Just go to your terminal. All right. Let me just clear that. Control C. So what you are going to do is just type brew install Chrome driver. Okay, this is done. If you are doing this for the first time, if you have not used, the brew command before, or if you are using sudo or apt command, if you are familiar with, this Mac OS or Linux, you will be familiar with sudo and apt and all those commands. If you don't use them for a while, they take some time to, first update the brew command, and then it's going to install Chrome driver. Anyways, it is done. So now my Chrome driver is updated and it is installed. It was installed already, but it is updated as well. All right, so now let's go back to our code. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply run this, and it is going to ask me some permissions. Let me just give you some permissions real quick. All right, so I think I have done my part. Let's try to run that again. Okay, as you can see that Selenium is running, and I am able to control the WebDriver from my Jupyter Notebook. So the good thing of using, Selenium with Jupyter Notebook is that you can test your code in real time instead of completing the whole code and test then running it and then debugging it. It takes a lot of time. Every time you execute it, launches the browser, and then it executes the script. So instead, it's a good idea to use this Selenium inside your Jupyter Notebook to test the code. Anyways, let's try to open a link first. Let's create a new cell here. Now, this is what I was talking about. As you go create new cells and you open anything that you want, it is going to stay there, the WebDriver, and you can use the same driver and execute the code in different cells. Okay. Before I do that, let me just import few more things. Selenium, not WebDriver, not. All right, so I'm going to need this by because I will be using some selectors, and in my case, I'm going to use export selector, so I'll use this by to get that element. All right, so now let's go to our website that we want to scrape. Right now, let's try scraping some generic websites like Wikipedia in my case, in this case, or maybe Google Chrome. Let's try to, Google search results. Let's try to get some Google search results. So right now, if you see here, I have opened this link. All right, so let's try to run get anything. Let me just type Pakistan here, and I have some news reports and all the search results for Python Pakistan keyword. So let's all right, before I do that, if you look here, we have this link, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to search a keyword in Google, and then I'm going to collect these links from these search results. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our Visual Studio Jupyter Notebook and try to get the link, Google search link. Okay, so to do that, just type driver.get, and inside of that, I'm going to just type the link www.google.com. So just click the play button, and it's going to, if you see here, it has loaded google.com. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enter some keyword here. To enter that, just right click here and go to inspect, and something like this will open. Just expand this one and click on this arrow and go to this input field. Now in this case, I am seeing a text area where we add this text. So to insert the text, just get this tag, and let's type of first selector object so that we can insert the text inside of that cell. Okay, so let's create a search variable, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do driver dot find element, and inside of brackets type UI by dot xpath. All right, and here I'm going to type the xpaths. Okay, xpath is supposed to be a string, so make sure that you start with forward double slash, and because I have the tag name is text area, and inside of that, let's pick an ID or maybe class, an attribute. Let's go with this title equals to search. Copy that, and inside of square brackets just paste it. Okay, this is how you write an xpath. First part is supposed to be a tag, and inside of these square brackets is supposed to be an attribute. In our case, we have to, every time you use a attribute, make sure to enter this at the rate, okay, before you insert the attribute. But if you are using the text, then you just need to mention text and with brackets. Okay, all right, in this case, let's just try to run this, and by is not defined. I probably did not run this cell, so let's run this one and then run this one. Okay, as you can see that it did not raise any error, which means that search has, let's create a new cell and try to print search and see what we have. What is a search object? Let's run this. Okay, as you see here, we have this web element object of Selenium. Okay, so which means that we have our input area. Now what we need to do is we need to send some keys and some values to this area to insert the whatever keyword we want to search. Okay, to do that, just type search dot send underscore keys, inside a bracket pass keys, whatever the keywords you want to search. Let's search Python Python web scraping. Okay, and let me just split the screen so that you can see as well. Now, if you look here, I have search.send Python web scraping, and now once I enter that, it automatically inserts Python web scraping here. Okay. The next step is what you can do is search.submit and press enter, and it's going to submit the search just like you press the enter button. Okay. Once you do that, it shows you all the search results for Python web scraping. Okay. Now the next step is to get all the links from this page. So to do that, let's create a new cell here. Now again, I'm going to right click on this browser link and go to inspect. All right, now an idea is to move this to bottom so that the structure of this HTML does not change. Okay, let me just expand this part as well and just click on this one. Let's go back down to the search results part and click on this, and now click on this thing. Once you do that, it is going to take you directly to that element that you point out. Okay, so let's try to write an export for this as well. In this case, I'm going to use this JS name with a tag. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's do this. So again, I'm going to let me just expand this part. All right. So to do that, let me first show you driver dot find element. If you remember, first when we were getting the search text area, we used find element. In this case, because we are expecting multiple elements, so I'm using find elements here, find underscore elements. So inside of these brackets, again, let's type by dot xpath. Okay, and now the next argument is the xpath itself. Now again, forward slash, and now because here we have a tag, and let's use a, and inside of square brackets I'm going to use this attribute. So let's try to run this one, and as you can see that we have got multiple results here. Maybe some of them have the link, maybe yes name equals to this is used in other places as well. To make sure that we get all the links, let's ensure that let's extract the links from this. To do that, let's try to loop over these elements. Let's call it element in this, right? And let me just close this one. All right, now I think you can see this better. All right, now let's go to next row and print element dot get attribute, and inside of these brackets I'm going to type href because we are expecting to get hrefs. Okay, so let's click on this, and now you can see that we have successfully extracted all the links from the Google search results page. So this is how you can extract links from Google search results using Selenium along with Jupyter Notebook. Okay, to go further, what you can do is you can load each of these pages and get the information from these pages. What you can also do is that you can move all of this code. See this code. Let's move all of this code to one cell. All right, now that as you can see that first it's going to get this driver.link, sorry, driver.get. First, before that, let's import Selenium as well as the launch the driver as well. So this is the whole process of getting the links from Google search results. It's very straightforward. First, you import Selenium from WebDriver, and you also import by from selenium.webdriver.com.by. After that, you create the driver variable and you get the link. You will see that Chrome browser window will pop up, and it's going to go to http://www.google.com. Okay. Once you do that, next step is to find the element in the text area where you want to insert the search keyword. Now that we have done it, we just click on submit. Now here the next step is that a lot of time that happens is that once you click on that, it's not going to wait for the next page to load, so it's going to raise this error. Let me show you what happens. So it launches the page. Now it clicks on it, but let me just show you the code. All right, so once it has submitted, now it has not printed anything. The reason is that because as you can see that because it has loaded the page and click on submit, it did not wait for these elements to load. That's why it just didn't print anything. All right, and this part returns empty list, so it did not print anything. Okay, so to solve this problem, what I'm going to do is that let's one more important part is to quit the driver. Okay, driver dot quit. Make sure to quit the driver. Let's just quit that, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to go away as well. So let's just close this one as well, because we don't need that now, and we are going to create a new driver for that. So to solve that problem, I'm going to add some wait. Wait. Okay, so from wait, what I mean is that so many times what will happen is that you can also add sleep, which is a built-in method in Python to wait, but it's not a very good idea to add sleep inside Selenium, because it's going to wait regardless of if page is loaded or if page is not loaded or whatsoever. Okay, so it's always a good idea to use built-in methods of WebDriver Wait to wait and wait for the elements to load. All right, let me just show you how. Uh, we we need to import few things here from Selenium. First, I'm going to import the WebDriver Wait variable, sorry, module, and just type selenium.webdriver.support.ui import WebDriver Wait. Okay, the next thing is from selenium.webdriver.support import expected conditions as EC. Sorry. All right. So what these two libraries are going to do is that this package is going to wait for the element wait, and this EC, what it will do is that it is going to provide an expected condition for first part to wait for. Let's say if I say that if links show up, wait until these links show up on a page, and execute. It's going to wait, and the breakpoint is 10 seconds. So what will happen is that it's going to wait for 10 seconds until it raises an exception. Okay, but if the element shows up maybe in the second or third second, it's going to execute instead of waiting for complete 10 seconds, unlike sleep, built-in library of sleep in Python. Okay, so that's why we use these WebDriver with EC. All right, now let's implement that in our code to make it more efficient. So to do that, just type WebDriver Wait, and inside of that, now let's give it a timeout. First, let's give it a driver that we have defined, and next thing is supposed to be a timeout. Let's set timeout to 10 seconds, and now next thing is what we want to do. We want to wait until, so we have this until here, and method is supposed to be EC. So EC, which means that now we are going to tell what expected condition that we want the driver to add, which is in our case we want the element presence of element located, all elements located, because there are multiple elements, and which element that we want to wait for, we are going to provide the selector objects here, which is supposed to be the export. All right, beg your pardon. You just need to make sure that it is one element. Okay, I just paused this like this. Okay, this is what it is doing is that it's going to, as I have explained before as well. So let me just go through it again. If you look here, we tell it to make the driver wait for 10 seconds until presence of all elements. Which elements? These elements is located. All right, so these elements are basically the links. So what will happen is that first it's going to get the link, which is google.com, and after that it's going to send this to the search area. Okay, and it's going to submit, and instead of immediately waiting for search and return the output, it is going to wait for the links to appear. as soon as links appear, it's going to execute this part of the code. All right, so let's run all of them. All right, so as you can see that it has clicked on this, sorry, submitted the keyword, and it's going to wait for 10 seconds. All right, it did, and as you can see that it has got all the links. So the main difference between if I add from time, if I import time from sleep and add 10 seconds of sleep here, it means that regardless if the element has appeared or not, it is going to wait for 10 seconds, which makes the code slow. So in this WebDriver Wait case, it is going to wait for 10 seconds in the case that if element does not appear before that. If an element does appear before that, it is simply going to move forward. So the next thing is I'm going to move all of that code into a function. It's always a good idea to use classes and functions in your code because you can reuse them. So in our case, let's create a function. Let's create a function called get driver. So remember that we can add arguments and we can add preferences in our Chrome driver. We can make it a headless Chrome driver. All right, so it's always a good idea to create a function separate only for Chrome driver. Okay, let's return driver here. Now let's create a new function, define, and let's call it get links. And inside of it, let's call insert a link. So instead of adding link here, let's pass a link here. Sorry, instead of link, let's give it a keyword. Okay. Now what I will need here is that I need to let's add spaces here. Don't forget to add double colon, full colon here. Now that we don't have driver inside of this function, let's call the driver, this function, from inside of this function. Driver equals to get driver. We don't need to pass any arguments here. Sorry, I just have a habit of saving the file again and again. That's why it pops up. Anyways, now that when I call this function, it's going to call this function first, get the driver, then it's going to get this link, then find the search text area, and send the keyword. So here I want to, instead of using the same keyword, I just want to add this variable here, so that with whatever keyword I pass to this function, it is going to get the keyword results. So now let's create another function. Let's call it main function, and inside of this function, let's call get links, and here we can pass keyword. Okay, so why I did this is because I want to loop over multiple links to print the search results. Okay, so let's get keyword from, sorry, for keyword in keywords, and I'm going to call this method. Okay, once we are complete, all the keywords are done, it's going to quit the driver. Okay, so because we don't have driver here, so what I'm going to do instead is that I'm going to move this driver out of it and just paste it here. All right, I don't want to like launch new window every time I'm searching for new keyword. So let's keep it outside of this loop and pass the driver as an argument. Okay, so I'm passing this driver inside of this function as an argument. Sorry. All right, now that I have not defined keywords, let's call define keywords as well, equals to let's call it Python. Okay, next keyword is Selenium. Third keyword is WebDriver. All right, now we have these three keywords, and I'm going to call this driver first from using this variable, and I'm going to loop over these keywords and get all of these. Sorry, again. Let's try to run this and see what happens. Just click this button, and you will see that it starts executing. Now, this one more thing. it has finished and nothing happened, just make sure that you call the main function from this button at the end of this all of this code. Let's now click the play button and it's going to launch this Chrome driver. As you can see that it has launched, searched Python word keyword, and it's going to wait for this Python keyword page to load. Again, it's going for Selenium. It is printing Selenium, and now it's going for WebDriver, and that's it. Now, as you can see that we have got all the search results that we were expecting without getting any errors. So this is it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. In the end, I want to summarize all of that. Remember that these are a few important things in Selenium. First, how to use this WebDriver Wait conditions along with by and expected conditions. Because it's really important because you don't want to add sleep, generic sleep, because it will slow down the script. Okay, so you should know how to use this WebDriver Waits, and you should also know how to create and use driver inside functions as well and classes as well, and how to loop over keywords. All right, so this is it for today. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you like this video, and I'm sure you have learned maybe a few things from this video as well. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. Okay.